Welcome back to the Valley of the Old Farm, episode 12, with me, MrSealyp. After spraying field 56A, I realised very quickly that I hadn't done the sugar beet field right next to it. Oops. Sorry, chicken. So, yeah, I'm going to need to do that now. Filling up the sprayer. It's in this one. Every single time I get this wrong. There we go. Oh, liquid fertiliser. Okay, right. Now where I ploughed across to do my AgroForestry track, which I'm going to be doing a little bit more on today, I ploughed across here in the end. This bit here I went right across without even thinking, but further up where I crossed this little track that I put in, I actually left a gap either side, so when I seed, I'll seed, stop, go, stop kind of thing, so I don't seed right across this track. Otherwise I end up driving through the crops, which isn't going to help very much at all. Now, if I remember correctly, we can cut across here. So we can, we probably shouldn't, but we will. And here we are. Let's open this up. Oh no. Oh man, have I just destroyed all of that? Oh, what? Back up, you idiot. Turn it off. Are they not in their first growth stage? Are they in the second? Is that what I've done wrong? Oh, I can't believe I've just done that. Oh man, what a waste. Right, okay, let's drop that there a second. Right. Back to go and get the Holmer then. I do need a smaller tractor. Definitely need a smaller tractor, one that I can put row crops on into odds and ends. Right, I'll see you in a moment. See if I can get this right. What a mistake. So when you go uphill you realise how heavy that tank is in the back. This shouldn't destroy the crops because I've got row crops on, so it doesn't matter if I just knock across there. Perfect. To be fair, I could have probably just taken the tank off. Could have come up here without the tank on and just put the sprayer on the back, but it was on, so it made more sense. Let me just check. Yep. Oh man, I can't believe I've done that. Oh, I'll still get plenty of sugar beet off here. It'll be enough for putting into storage for the pigs, but frustrating is not the word. Oh well. What are you gonna do? It's done now. I suppose I could have just reset the game, gone back to the previous save game, started recording again and not showing anybody, but I did it. It was an error. Never mind. Actually, to be fair, I'm still going to get a fair bit of sugar beet off this. And the pigs only require 5% root crop, I think, as part of their feed mix. I'm still not sure. I need to have a bit of a more in-depth look. I downloaded and printed off all the instructions for the Seasons mod, everything off of the Realismus modding website. I need to have a really good read of all the animal side of things, because I'm trying to get my head around what times of year. Obviously the economy thing is a good guide to that. Prices are high when they're obviously better for buying, better for selling, where you're going to make most money. But I need to read up the stuff on what they eat and when. So there are certain things you feed them, but during the winter months they won't take certain things, will only eat certain things. So that's what I need to get my head around, I think, is especially when I move into doing a bit more livestock. The sheep are fairly straightforward to look after. You've got your grass, you've got your water, job done. But the others are a little bit more complicated. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want any animals dying on me, so I wanted to keep a check actually, because the feed only lasts for 3 days as well, doesn't it? Feed water is enough to last 3 days, not 6 days, so I need to be Johnny on the spot with that as well. So for working on my AgroForestry, I am using that term very, very loosely, I'll be honest with you. I think the AgroForestry is a little bit more planned than what I did, but I'm going to use a different seeder today, one that I haven't used before. It's only it might be a 4 metre one actually. I think the Rayboard Xylor, the stump grinder plough that I used in the last episode, is a 3, but I want to make sure that the seeder goes kind of a little bit either side so I don't miss anything. So yeah, I'm going with something a little bit different that I haven't used before. Well, anyway, that's that done. So if I look at the map now, scroll across, that's now on that. This one here, actually, yeah, that's a good point. While I'm here, the poplars could probably do with the spray. I keep forgetting that, because I did them with strips and I did them on the grass, I didn't think you could do anything with them, but I think you can. It's showing up that strip, so let's give those a go as well. So it doesn't matter if they're not done on a field, as in like a ploughed field. If you do them just on grass, you still get these strips which can be fertilised, and I still maintain, as far as I'm aware, yeah, they're going darker, that you can increase the yield of poplars. I did a test on that on Goldcrest Valley way back, I'm sure I did. And if I didn't, I say if I didn't, I'm sure I did, but I think other people have too, so this should have an impact. You can definitely see it getting darker, the ground, so tending to everything I've set out. Got a fair bit done over this first bit, haven't I really, I suppose. Right, back to the farm and let's sort out the next thing. So, here's what I'm going to do. Sewing machines. I'm going to go with the Stara. There aren't many of these in the country. This is from the Platinum Expansion Pack from MrSealyp, so a Southern American manufacturer. And this is a 4... No, it's not. It's a 3.6. Actually, that's not too bad then, because the actual plough was 3. This fertilises and seeds, and I'm going to stick cover crop in for the time being. So... to lease nearly 3,000, that's not too bad. I was going to say that's literally one tree. Cut down a tree, I've paid for the leasing cost of that, provided I don't know if it's more than an hour. However, when I was clearing my agroforestry route in the last episode, and I cut down the last couple of trees, because I'm on midsummer, because I'm doing 3-day seasons, on day 2 of summer, the price of trees had dropped even more. Can you believe it? Down to 2,000 and something. I think at my height I was getting nearly 10,000 for a tree. Now 2,000 or 2,900 I think it worked out at. So yeah, very, very low now. So any trees I do now, it's not going to be about money, it's going to be about clearing space. Winter is going to be the time for proper forestry, make a lot of money if I can clear the snow to actually get to anything. Problem with the snow is you can't see where the stumps are when you've cut the trees down, but we'll see how we get on there. Let's go up to the garden centre. Oh, I need to get Alex's doorstop, don't I? Because I took theirs at the council office. Oops. Okay, right. I'm not sure how far through the forest I'm going to get with this, but I can always go back to the farm and refill there. Front one should be filling up now. The fertiliser, there we go. When I did my kind of look at the expansion pack, I didn't really go into a lot of detail on these. Detail on these mods is brilliant. Ceres Master 3570. This one, no prior cultivating is required, and because I ploughed everything out the other day, I don't want to have to lease a cultivator and then a seeder, so this will do it all in one go. Let's close those and go over there. Let's be careful driving down the road with this because it's quite wide. I was just going to say there hasn't been as much traffic coming along this road recently, but just as I was about to say that, along comes a car. Now I can start at the start, or I can start anywhere realistically, because I can do a kind of loop, but I will go to the start point and go around and we'll seed the whole lot. I must make sure I change that, because if I put wheat in the ground now it won't work. Oh, that was the other thing I mustn't forget. I bought the did I buy the Wopster, or was going to buy the Wopster? I hadn't bought it yet. Seasons, no Wopster. Am I mad? When I did the grass cutting in, not the last episode, the one before, when I was filling up the bunker silo with chaff, I got a comment left saying because it had been raining, and then I went and did it, the grass was too wet to cut. Now I assumed with Seasons that it wouldn't allow you to cut it. I should have checked it with the Wopster to get the details to find out if it was too damp to cut and all that kind of stuff. I just automatically assumed it wouldn't allow me to. It would say that it was too wet, but I don't know. So before I do this, yes, I did buy it. There you go, the Wopster. Now if I go over to something, for example the crop, I think it's circle. There we go. Wheat, 50% grown. 8% moisture. That's not too bad. Okay, that's all looking pretty good actually. Pretty good indeed. So the grass I should have checked. That was my error. Right, okay. Let's get some seeding done, shall we? Okay. So let's jump in here. What do I want? Cover crop. That should be it. It should work now. So turn it on. Drop it down. I like that. Just raise up again. Cool, brilliant. And away we go. So we're sticking this cover crop in the ground, so it should be seeding and fertilising at the same time. Because this is just a little bit wider, this is 3.6 and what I ploughed out was 3. It does mean that I'm just overlapping slightly and I shouldn't miss anything, but it does mean at 3.6 metres wide the seeder shouldn't be too wide to fit through gaps between the trees. In theory. We'll see how that pans out as well. You'll also see at the end of the last episode where I showed you that open area that I was ploughing out, we will get round to the other one that I did as well, which I think, I'm trying to remember now what I used. It depends what I use, because I pre-record a lot of this and then edit it at different times, so depends what I choose as the thumbnail really. I did give the poplars over here a spray as well on field 54, so they have been done also. It's actually working out way better than I thought it would. So I'll go straight up here first of all and set a worker. Which way will he turn? So this is when I was finishing off. I too often find the workers overlap quite a long way. I shall do it myself. So once I do eventually manage to get wheat or whatever I get in here, it's going to be an interesting way of doing things. Right, let's go to the outside first. Now, I think maybe I should have cleared some of these trees that are close to the edge of this. It might not have been a better idea. There might have been a better idea. Might not have been a better idea. It might have been a better idea. Let's do that bit first. Okay, right, I'm going to continue this. I'm going to go round the section at the back there, and then you'll catch up with me in a little while when I'm doing the section over there where we get to the other one of these little ploughed areas, just so you can see what I've done. And then once this cover crop grows, I'll cultivate it back in for another fertiliser state. I might as well do it. It seems pointless not doing it. And just leaving it sitting here because I can't put a crop in it. I might as well use something as a fertiliser state. Don't often do cover crop because there are so many other things you can do, and on playing on normal without seasons on, it's not as relevant, but actually this is going to prove quite useful. So I've now crossed over the bit I ploughed before. I've done the circuit round that side, and now I'm going to do around this side. Should come round to the other little field in a moment. And then over time, I think over the winter, when I start to clear more of this forest back, what are at the moment these small tracts can then be expanded out into larger fields, or one incredibly long wide field that goes and winds, you know, across the countryside. It would be a bit peculiar, but it would work. There you go. So I'm crossing over the route I did already. Now this is the bit I was talking about. What I want to do here is when I get to this bit here, just stop, lift up the seeder, go across, drop down the seeder and carry on, because I don't want to seed across the track I laid, because there's no mod on console for putting in roads or gravel paths and that kind of stuff, so you just have to kind of make do. You kind of plough a bit and then cultivate it, and that's the best you can kind of manage really. But we are now here at the other one, so this is another kind of clearing that was on this part of the forest. So I just thought, you know what, this is the first one I did. I thought I'd plough it out, give myself a slightly larger area, and it's worked rather well on both. And they're not huge fields by any stretch of the imagination, but they don't need to be. Realistically, if you're doing it to get straw, whether it's for bedding or whatever it might be, it almost becomes that the wheat is a byproduct or the barley is a byproduct, because what you're after is the straw swath for doing bales. Weirdly enough, the wheat or the barley itself then almost becomes a redundant thing. You sell it, of course you do, you make money on it, but you don't. That wasn't actually why you did it. So I'll often keep those crops to one side for pigs and that kind of thing, because the price isn't that great on them anyway. Yeah, so it's weird how that kind of happens. You'd think it would be the crop that's the important thing, but sometimes you are just doing it because you need the swaths. So this Stara Ceres is working really well. I don't know how it works though, there's no PTO. So I'm assuming everything in here is mechanical in some way. I suppose there are chains there. That's obviously what it is, it's a mechanical system. Just saying that. Yeah, look at the chains. So as the axle rotates, or the axles rotate, all the different pulleys and belts operate all the different, I suppose, opening and closing, allowing the seed through and the fertiliser through. Anyway, yeah, that is an assumption, of course. That may well be way off, but that would seem logical. Go that bit over there. I don't think it was. I didn't do the best coverage ever. As you can also tell, it's not a straight field. One side of it is definitely not straight. Oh, never mind. Right, drop that down. I think I'm running the wheel too close. I'm assuming it's wider than it is. I think where the steps are where the wheels are, and I'm going to the width of the seeder, and it should only be really the width of the I'm looking at it from the back and going to here, and the wheels are there. The seeder realistically is only that wide, so that's why I'm missing little bits down the sides. That last little bit should be pretty much covered, and all that's left now is the little strip there, the run back round towards the wood chipper, and that's my cover crop on my sort of agroforestry bit done. And then I'll sort putting this away or returning it. Well, I've still got seed in it, but I'll get clobbered for the lease. Same thing. I think what I'll do is stop there, lift it, take it across, drop it, and go from there. There we go. And now only time will tell. We'll see how successful this turns out. If the cover crop works alright, then the same principle will apply for whatever crop I put in. It does mean until I get these widened or this forest cut down, I am going to need some small machinery. But I think I'm going to lease that when I need it, I'm not going to invest in a load of small machinery, simply because the rest of the farm, they're big fields. I really wouldn't use it that much. Right. I don't know if I'm just trying to convince myself of that, actually. I don't know. We'll see. I might end up having a set of large machinery and a set of small. No, that's wider than I wanted. I don't want to destroy the crop. But I have. Oh, never mind. Okay, if I just put that in here for the time being. Just in case there's something else I think, well, I could use the rest of the seed in that. I've paid for it. I don't want to not use it. And I've cost myself money, haven't I? Okay, right. What comes next? Think. Bearing in mind it's only, what, 7:45 in the morning. I'll check the feed situation for the animals. Might need to give them a bit of a top up. Let's have a look in the trough. I don't suppose... No information, you buffoon. What were you thinking? Worth a try, you never know. Water and hay or grass, yeah, they could do a little bit. That was the other thing I was going to do. I said I wasn't going to do it, but in light of moving the great big agro liner up here, which is what, a 45,000 litre trailer, just to get a small bit of grass to bring over here to feed to the sheep, I'm pretty sure you can't unload into a bucket. I will try, because you never know, that would be quite handy if you could. I'm pretty sure you can't. You know what it's like. You think something and then someone says, oh no, did you know you can blah blah blah. So no, I didn't know that. And it would help if I was actually under it. Nope. You never know. It's certainly got to be worth a shot. Yeah, so I mean, I am going to get a small trailer. Probably a Brantner. Something little. It doesn't have to be a big trailer. Just so I can top up the grass when I need to, and I'm not lugging huge, great quantities. I just don't need to. I am also considering, I don't know if I mentioned this, my mind is going, whether or not to swap this for a wheeled one of these. I know the forestry cage, because I use it for forestry and stump grind, that kind of thing. The cage is designed to keep it safe, and I have mentioned before that from inside the view is not great. It's quite hard to drive from inside. I'm also thinking if I do any bales and I stick them up in the hayloft there, whether the tracked vehicle going up and down the top of the hayloft would cause more damage than a wheeled one. Now I know it's a game and it makes absolutely no difference, but in reality, mind you, they're rubberised tracks, I suppose. Don't know. Again, I'll give that some thought. I might get one of those little Kramer or something. Mind you, that's another 60 grand, isn't it? I'll have a think. I'll keep saying that. I'll have another think about it. Another think. I might get the ITSI, the ITSI thing from MTS. I know not a lot of people like that, but with a small bucket on that, that'll work perfect for cleaning this feed area. That's got nothing to do with a trailer, of course. I'm just, you know, musing again. Right. Yeah. Trailer. That's what I need to sort out next. The trailer's never a good sign, is it? I had many Land Rovers over the years, quite a few Land Rover Discoveries, and I lost count of how many of those went off on low loaders because they were broken down, or, you know. It's a sorry sight, I have to say. Right. I am going to replace it. So I am, if I can get it up on here. And if it doesn't fly off on the way there or anything odd, let's put the bucket down. Okay. I just thought it'd be a little bit more realistic doing it with the trailer, plus it'll be a bit quicker getting there because the skid steer only goes at 13 miles an hour, so providing I drive sensibly and carefully, we should get there in one piece. That's called threading a needle. Avoid the pedestrians at all costs. Now there is method to my madness here, because that's still selling for 64,000. That's what it costs to buy. If I repair it, will I get more money? Let's repair it. Yes. No. Same amount. Never mind. Right, sell it. 64,000. Go back into there. Sell the bucket. Now, if you go into the store, which I can do just from my menu, but I like going in to speak to the friendly people at the BSM shop. So, yeah, the skid steer loader, the normal one's 49. So it was 64 to buy, and I've just sold it for 64. No depreciation on that at all. That's cool. Absolutely brilliant. So I want one of those. And a universal bucket. And what I also want to get is a little trailer. Now, I'm going to go with the TDK 1600, or it's only going to be for feeding grass and stuff like that. I'll go with the Brantner to start off with. So that's 10 grand more, about 9 grand more actually. I'll get a Brantner. What colour shall I go for? Ooh, decisions. What colour don't I have much of normally? I normally go for oranges and greens and stuff like that, don't I? Let's go with a deep red. I don't know why. Rim colour. Let's go with white to match that deep red, shall we? It's probably going to look hideous, but Okay, right. If I go around and grab the low loader, I can pick that up. Take it round. Now I'm hoping, because there's a trailer hitch on the back of here, I bet it won't work. I might be able to hitch up the Brantner on the back of this. I mean, I'm chancing my arm a little bit, that probably won't work, but if it does, the result can take it all back in one go. Oh, look at that, that's interesting. Now, come on, help me out. Help me out. It does. Nice, I can get it all back in one go. Oh well, that's a result. Isn't it nice when something works? That's better. Look, I can see. Bucket's not as insane either. Line that up. Hopefully. Oh, not straight. It's just shocking, isn't it? Nice! And then, oh mind you, that is dragging that nose wheel a little bit, isn't it? We'll pretend we can't see that. I've got my beacons on, you never know, just in case it catches. I think I'm just gouging a hole in the ground, but fingers crossed. Happy days! Right, I'm going to take this back. I did the journey up. You know what it looks like. Unless I go a weird route round and drive around the countryside. This is a little bit longer proposition, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you back at the yard. Or the farm, should I say. In a minute. So we're back, safe and sound. There's a bit of grass on the ground to be sorted out. The trailer's been offloaded, so feeding the sheep will be the next thing, but we are at the end of another episode. They go very, very quickly. That looks so much better than the other bucket. That's perfect. Right. Hope you've enjoyed it. We're moving on with our semi-agroforestry. The rest of the farm is progressing nicely, crops are growing, things are fertilised and everything's as it should be. Not sure what I'm going to do in the next episode, we will see. Yeah, racking my brains, but we'll think of something. Don't you worry, and I hope to see you again next time. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share the video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.